Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you guys how I did this flock tree. So if you are interested on seeing how I turn this into this, then just keep on watching. I'm finally gonna flock this tree. Last year I shared with you guys how I flocked the smaller tree, but this time I am actually going to do the bigger one, and I'm gonna link down in the description the powder that I used. I did purchase it at Amazon. This is a tree that I flocked this last year, and if you guys can see how faked it looks, I mean, it still looks really nice and pretty, especially with the lights and the decorations that you put on the trees. From far away you can still see like if it's a fake snow, but when you get closer to it, it doesn't seem like realistic, even though we know it's fake. I did like the way it looked after being in the bin for a year already, and I did open it and see if the snow or the fake snow, it's still stuck in it. So it did. So I'm really happy how it turned out last year, and I'm still happy with how it looks right now. But I still wanted to try this technique on a bigger tree. So the materials that you're gonna need, it's a siftener to put the powder, spray bottle with water, and a container where you're going to be putting your powder. I do put all of my Christmas trees in a plastic wrap, and since it's such an old tree, if you guys can see in here that this is not like the 3-piece that you just put all together. No, this has so many pieces in. And to make it easier for me, I try to put every single section in plastic wrap. So by the time I put it all together, I can go from the bigger item to all the way to the smaller one, because this one has like 11 layers, and it's just much easier. The first layer that I did in here, I did put all of the stems together, and then I started to open them so that way I can prepare it to put all of the flocked powder. It's better if you do it in a well ventilated area. I did this process in my garage. It was really windy outside, and that's why I didn't want to do it outside. You cannot do it on a windy day, since the powder can go all over the place and will not stick onto your tree. It was kind of windy, and so at a point I did had my garage door open, but then I had to close it because the wind was just taking all the powder away. Now you have to spray your tree first and then add the powder. And in order for the powder to stick in the stems, you have to put more water after. If you want to have bigger chunks, it's better if you put the powder only by the edges. Since this is an 11-layer tree, I had it to do layer by layer to make it a little bit better. But I do kind of regret it putting it in the middle, since I did bought a 2-pound bag of powder, and it just wasn't enough for this big tree. This is a 7-feet tree, and I did use a lot of powder in the middle, which there was really no need for you to put a lot of powder in the middle since it's going to be covered. It's better if you just do it on the edges, and you will see at the end of the video what I'm talking about. But I will continue to do the same process. I did at the beginning, I put all of the stems in the stick and then open them. But then afterwards, my kids were helping me, and they were just opening every single stem out and then put it on the tree. And that was a better way to do it. And it's much more fun when you do it with your kids or your family. Another thing that if you want to do it with someone else, it's easier if you spray the water and then the other person throw the powder, and so on and so on. And here he really loved to do the powdered. And you guys can see in here how we were throwing the powder in the middle There was really no need for me to put all the powder all the way to the middle because like I said before, it's going to be covered with every single layered. I literally figured that out until I was almost done with the tree, and I did finish the powder. So if you are planning to do something like this to flock the bigger tree, it's just better if you do it like in the edges. And here is where we started to put bigger chunks. Instead of just putting the powder with the siftener, we were literally throwing the powder in the stems. And this is the consistency of the powder. I'm hoping that you are able to see the glitter. It kind of has like a little bit of glitter in it to make it a little bit more of a realistic snow. If you guys can see in here how it's looking and how it has the glitter in some of the leaves of the tree. And it gives a better look when you add bigger chunks of snow instead of just putting a powder. I know that from far away you cannot see a lot of this snow, but that's because it's still wet. This was the last piece of the tree, and at the beginning I was going to open it and put it on the top. With the smaller one, it was much easier, and I kind of like it the way it looked. If you guys can see in here, what we did, it's that we did it out of the tree, and then we just did the same process, add the water and then add the powder. But what we did with this one is that we also turn it upside down and also put the powder on the bottom, and it gave such an amazing look. I did sift in the powder at the beginning, but then I added chunks, and it just gave a more realistic look. So that's why I'm saying that if you have a smaller tree, and if you do this type of process, it will look much better. Or for a bigger tree, you will have to purchase more than just one bag. And I'm probably going to be doing that. Now, we did let the tree dry for 24 hours. The following day, I brought it back in the living room where I was going to place it. It is such a messy process, but it is so worth it. You can see in here now that the flocked powder, it's dry, how it's looking. And as I said, there is a bunch of flocked powder in the middle. If you can see the difference from this one right here, and let's say for example this one right here, depending on how much you put in, that's the result you're gonna get. Like down here, I just sprinkled it, like if you guys saw it at the beginning, but then afterwards I started putting like chunks. Now another thing that I think, and I would have wanted to do, it's to flip the tree or get some help from your kid's husband or whoever can help you. Turn it around upside down and then do the bottom part as well, because if you can see on the bottom part, it doesn't have any snow, and that's because I didn't flip it. Now, but in the inside, and especially like in the middle, it's full of the powder, and that's because I just sprinkled it. And afterwards, that's where I was like, okay, you know what, might as well just put bigger chunks. Like up here, this was a little bit much easier, and I did flip it upside down as well. And if you can see in here, it has bigger chunks, and that's because I flip it around. But again, if you have a smaller tree, it will come a little bit much better. And I can still put more in here, but I just don't have enough. Like in here, I still need more, but obviously with all the lights and the ornaments, hopefully it will like cover all of that. And it still has like snow. It kind of looks like snow, it's barely coming down. So yeah, this is the way it looks. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and also subscribe to stay tuned for the upcoming videos, especially how we decorate this tree. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.